Hello, I'm Dr. Emily Carter, and today we're talking about a simple sign many men over 50 ignore. Most men over 50 think circulation problems start during the day, but what if the real damage actually begins at night, not during exercise, not during work, but during the 6-7 hours your body is supposed to be repairing itself? Doctors who study aging blood vessels have noticed something strange. Men who follow one small nighttime habit often show healthier blood flow, stronger vascular response, and better morning energy, while those who ignore it slowly experience the opposite. And the problem is almost no one talks about it. Tonight I want to show you the quiet habit that may be weakening circulation after 50, without most men realizing it. After the age of 50, subtle changes begin to take place inside the body's circulatory system. These changes usually happen slowly, and most men never notice them at first. Blood vessels, which were once highly flexible and responsive, gradually become a little less elastic. This doesn't mean the system stops working, it simply means the body needs a bit more support to keep everything running smoothly. One important factor behind this shift lies within the inner lining of the arteries. This delicate layer is known as the endothelium. The endothelium plays a critical role in regulating blood flow because it produces signaling molecules that help blood vessels expand and relax when needed. As we age, however, this lining can become less efficient at producing one of the most important of those molecules. That molecule is called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide acts like a messenger inside the circulatory system. It signals blood vessels when to widen, allowing more blood to pass through. It helps deliver oxygen and nutrients to tissues throughout the body. It also plays a role in helping muscles, organs, and other tissues receive the circulation they require during periods of activity and recovery. But here is something many men rarely hear about. A significant portion of the body's vascular repair and recovery process happens during the night. While you sleep, especially during deep sleep, the circulatory system shifts into a maintenance mode. The body begins repairing tiny stresses in blood vessels, restoring balance to the endothelial lining, and supporting healthy blood flow for the next day. In many ways, nighttime is when the body quietly performs some of its most important restorative work. However, there is one common habit that can interfere with this natural process. It's something many people do without thinking, and over time it can reduce the amount of time the body has to complete this nightly repair cycle. And when that repair window becomes shorter, the circulatory system may not recover as efficiently as it once did. One of the most common habits that quietly affects the body at night is eating a heavy meal too close to bedtime. Many men over the age of 50 finish dinner late in the evening. In some cases, the final meal happens only 30 to 60 minutes before going to sleep. At first, it doesn't seem like a big deal. After all, eating late is a routine many people have followed for years. But digestion is an energy-intensive process. When you eat a heavy meal, your body redirects a significant amount of blood flow toward the stomach and digestive organs. This is necessary for breaking down food and absorbing nutrients. The challenge is that this process often overlaps with the time when the body is supposed to be slowing down for sleep. Instead of allowing the cardiovascular system to shift into its natural nighttime recovery mode, the body remains metabolically active. Circulation stays focused on digestion rather than on repair. Over time, this can create what researchers sometimes describe as a kind of metabolic traffic jam. The body is trying to rest, but at the same time, it's still busy processing a full meal. The result may be subtle. Sleep can become slightly lighter. Hormonal rhythms may shift, and the natural repair processes that normally occur during deep sleep may become less efficient. These changes usually don't happen overnight, but when the same pattern repeats night after night, month after month, the effects can slowly accumulate. And if you're interested in learning simple habits that support healthy circulation and aging after 50, consider subscribing to the channel. Each week we share practical science-based routines that many men wish they had discovered years earlier. Now, let's take a closer look at what actually happens inside the body during deep sleep. When the body finally enters deep sleep, an important shift begins to take place. This stage of sleep is not just about rest, it is when many of the body's most important maintenance processes quietly get to work. During deep sleep, 3 key physiological changes typically occur. First, blood pressure naturally drops slightly, allowing the cardiovascular system to relax after the demands of the day. Second, blood vessels begin to widen and loosen, which helps circulation move more efficiently throughout the body. And third, the body increases a variety of repair signals that support cellular recovery and vascular health. This combination creates an environment where the vascular system can essentially reset overnight. However, late-night eating can interfere with this process. When a large meal is consumed shortly before bedtime, the body releases insulin and activates the digestive system at the exact time when metabolism should be slowing down. Instead of focusing on restoration, the body remains busy processing food. Researchers who study metabolic health often notice an interesting pattern. People who stop eating 2 to 3 hours before sleep tend to experience more stable nighttime metabolism, deeper and more consistent sleep cycles, and healthier vascular function over time. Of course, this isn't a magic solution, but small habits practiced consistently each night can quietly influence long-term health in meaningful ways. Let me tell you about Michael. Michael is 61. For years, he had a simple routine: dinner at 9:30, bed at 10:30, nothing unusual. But he often woke up feeling tired, heavy, and mentally foggy. He assumed it was just age. Then his doctor suggested one simple change: stop eating 3 hours before sleep. The first week felt strange. He was used to his late snack. But by the second week, he noticed something small. He fell asleep faster. A few weeks later, he noticed something else. He woke up feeling lighter and more alert. Did it transform his life overnight? No. But small improvements started appearing. And those small improvements often matter most. For years, he had a simple routine: dinner at 9, bed at 10. Nothing about it seemed unusual or unhealthy. Nothing unusual, but he often woke up feeling tired, heavy, and mentally foggy. He assumed it was just age. Then his doctor suggested one simple change: stop eating 3 hours before sleep. The first week felt strange. He was used to his late snack. But by the second week, he noticed something small. He fell asleep faster. A few weeks later, he noticed something else. He woke up feeling lighter and more alert. Did it transform his life overnight? Did this single habit completely transform his life overnight? Not at all. But small improvements started appearing. If you're over the age of 50, creating a simple and consistent evening routine can make a meaningful difference in how your body supports circulation overnight. The goal isn't to follow a strict or complicated plan. In fact, the most helpful changes are often the simplest ones. One of the most effective adjustments is finishing your last full meal about 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. This small shift gives your digestive system enough time to do most of its work before your body begins transitioning into sleep mode. As a result, your metabolism can gradually slow down and your cardiovascular system can move into its natural nighttime recovery phase. If you still feel a little hungry later in the evening, choosing something light can be a better option than a heavy snack. Foods like yogurt, a small portion of berries, or a warm cup of herbal tea are often easier for the body to process and are less likely to disrupt sleep. Another helpful habit is reducing exposure to bright screens before bed. Phones, tablets, and televisions emit light that can interfere with the body's internal clock. When the brain senses less artificial light, it becomes easier for the body to release the hormones that promote deeper sleep. A short walk after dinner can also be surprisingly beneficial. Even a gentle 10-minute walk helps the body regulate blood sugar levels and encourages healthy circulation. It's a small action, but it signals to the body that the day is winding down. None of these habits are miracle solutions on their own. But when the body is able to sleep more deeply and consistently, the systems responsible for repair, including the vascular system, often function more effectively over time. After the age of 50, circulation rarely declines all at once. It doesn't suddenly fail overnight. Instead, it gradually responds to the habits we repeat day after day, often in ways we barely notice. Small choices when we eat, how we rest, and how consistently we allow the body to recover can slowly shape how well our vascular system functions over time. And interestingly, some of the most meaningful changes don't happen during the busy hours of the day. They happen at night while the body is supposed to be repairing itself. The timing of your evening meal, the quality of your sleep, and the rhythm of your nightly routine can all influence how effectively your body carries out those quiet repair processes. Blood vessels relax, hormones shift, and the body begins restoring balance after the physical and mental demands of the day. That's why something as simple as adjusting your evening habits can sometimes make a noticeable difference. So tonight, consider trying a small experiment. Finish dinner a little earlier than usual. Give your body enough time to digest before you go to sleep. Allow your metabolism to slow down naturally so your system can enter its normal recovery phase. Then pay attention to how you feel the next morning. Do you wake up a little clearer, a little more rested, perhaps even with a bit more energy than usual? These changes might be subtle at first, but over time, small improvements often build on each other. Because sometimes the habits we overlook the most are the ones quietly shaping our long-term health. And if you found this video helpful, consider subscribing to the channel. We share simple, science-based insights designed specifically for men over 50 practical habits that can support circulation, sleep, and overall well-being as the body continues to age.